Hello people and welcome back to Cake's Mega Man's Tribute. Mega Man 9 is next. This should be interesting. Starting with Concrete Man. As I've said before, one of my favorite robot masters to do a no miss on. It's a reaction based fight. Really all about reaction. I love the fight. The stage. Main issue I would say here is the elephant mini bosses. Especially the last one. There's 3 of them in a row, which I never liked how they did that. My mindset has always been that the mini bosses in any Mega Man stage should be spaced out. Not add one after another. It kinda destroys the flow for me. The first one really, that's automatic. You don't have to really do much. Grab the ladder that's hanging in the air. Kill the elephant. Second one, kinda tricky, but still really doable. Just have to get back fast enough. And then careful about the last shot. This one though, little bit more tricky, but this is probably the best strategy you can do. You could one cycle this, just jump over the ball and hammer away, but that's just asking for a miss. So rather better do that more slowly. So this is back when Mega Man 9 had been out for about 5 years, I believe. If this is 2014 or let me check. This is 2013. So Mega Man 9 had been out for 4 years, I believe. Emulation at this point not the greatest. There's probably a lot of graphical not even glitches, but the way things move, you can see on the spider how it kinda, the pixels are not one by one. But Dolphin emulation has gone a long way since then. Am I really shooting that? Why am I doing this? You can just run through this entire section. I guess I didn't know that. Yeah, you can just, when you come to that screen, you can just run right. Nothing will ever hit you. Interesting. But if you don't know something, then, well, then you just don't know. But Concrete Man here, hard rock. Concrete Man here really, I believe the best boss ever made. If you ask me. Such a fun fight. If you're close to him, he will fire 1 concrete block. If you're far away, he will fire 3. People say stay close to him so he will only fire 1. I find that more difficult than staying far away. Because the 3 that he shoots like that, that's way more pleasant to dodge than the 1 at close range. So I would advise being far away instead. And then that's it. Close. Hornet Man. As opposed to Concrete Man, where the boss is fun, I think the stage is really fun in this one. There's a lot of technical movements you have to do. A lot of things you have to consider. Of course, I'm not saying Hornet Man himself is bad, I like that fight as well. That was the main issue here. And after such a long level, it really pains me when I lost the run to the boss. So here you just have to choose. Miss the shot on the platforms or use rush coil. So whichever you prefer, use that. I chose rush coil over missing a shot on the weird airborne belts, whatever the hell they are. Platforms. There you have to miss in order to go past this. So my reasoning for choosing coil over a buster shot is that when I used coil I didn't have to miss a shot. So I thought that was cleaner. Here's a Hanabiran mini-boss of Hornet Man stage. I think it's really fun. It might be my favorite mini-boss of all time. People hate this for some reason. I don't know why. It's fun. You do have to note that you can only get 3 shots in it. So if you fire 4, you will miss the last one. As he will go down after 3 shots. Even if it looks like you can make the shots, it's still not gonna count. It'll the bullet goes right past her. So don't try that. And if you haven't been counting, then you have to just keep shooting once at the end. Because you don't know when it's gonna die. You could accidentally overshoot and miss a shot. So again, here I opted for a rush coil instead of missing shots. It's just however you wanna deal with this. And this was more challenging than using the buster, so I guess I really like torturing myself. Because if you use the buster to open these, well, you have a lot more walkable area. So up to you how you wanna do that. Save spot in the corner. That cactus will not get you from there. A lot of pots to take care of here. Keep your distance. And none of this will hurt. Take that out right there, that's clever. Could have probably outrun it. But hey, who doesn't like corpses? That came out wrong. And that came out wrong too. Now, final obstacle, the big eye. Lure it out, why not? Risky jump, or risky way to run under it, I believe. Should have probably killed it. In any case, here's Hornet Man, which is not bad in itself. Quite fun. I do remember posting outtakes from the boss alone. Luring out the hornets is really you have to have your full concentration when doing this. And you have to know where to stand. Just one little slip up and you will be in trouble. So the hornets will stop many times, during which you can position yourself to a new location and they will home on you. It's really important to be on the right spot when they do that. Once you've done this for a long time, you really start losing your mind, because all you hear is and then it just starts getting to you. So this is one of those robot masters that try to tire you out by continuous patterns. Once you've done this enough, well, that probably doesn't help at all. Once you've gotten lucky enough that you didn't mess up accidentally, that's better. You'll get it down. I hope you like walking, because Galaxy Man is no short of that. There's a lot of walking and not much going on. Galaxy Man stage is one of those that, if you're getting into this challenge, well, this is one for you. Shouldn't be too hard. Only a few things to keep in mind. Probably the locations of the little teleport systems. Would be beneficial to know where they bring you. And then stuff like this here, where you shoot the met before advancing. Probably also good to know. Other than that, have a teaching element for the teleports. Other than that though, Galaxy Man stage, really all about memorization as well. Have to remember where these copter people are. This one you could get carried by though, the one coming up. Don't have to lure it out, don't be scared, we are your friends. And go left, as not to trap on the troll spikes Thank you very much, Mega Man 9. Bam! All about timing, that one. And believe it or not, the hardest parts are now done. But I don't like how this level is just long hallways of nothing. Most of the time anyway. This stage would have benefited a lot from a slide. But only because it's boring without it. Doesn't really need it. Rest is just shooting these weird UFO heads. Knowing when to do that is key. Unless you jump over them. But I believe there is a... No, you can go past this as well, I think. Yeah, there we go. I was wrong, I thought you have to shoot that. You don't. Might as well get rid of the shield attacker, so you don't have to time these other spots here. Always better to take something else, if it looks like you have to time something else because you didn't kill them. So... requires a lot of tinkering with the level before attempting it. To know what works the best. And of course, memorize those copter people locations. Is vital. And one final stretch remains. Just hope you remember the locations where these teleporters bring you. Even if you go back and forth a bit. Probably not gonna... I don't know what I'm doing now, but... probably not gonna hit you, as you can see. You can go back and forth a lot, and the UFOs just right past you. Galaxy Man, interesting in the sense that he will... well, he has two things he does. This is one of them. The other is the ground sweep, I would call it, where he just comes at you. But he will not do one of these patterns more than 3 times in a row. So if he's launched the black hole 3 times in a row, the next time he will sweep the ground. And same goes for the ground sweep. The next time he'll do the black hole bomb. So that's how you know what he's gonna do next. Other than that, it's all about reaction. Reaction time. I don't like how you have to keep turning yourself to shoot at him when he's sucking with his black hole. But hey, that's just what you have to do. This here, I don't really like that. It's awkward. You're probably not even meant to do that, but it's possible, so why wouldn't you? This fight would take forever if you didn't do this. Just have to be wary that you don't shoot in the wrong direction by accident. That's the thing. That's close. Only depends how far you can get from the black hole bomb. How many shots you can take. One more left and the Galaxy Man is done with. Magma Man. A bit more interesting than most stages in this challenge, I'd say. A lot of tricky jumps. A lot of things to avoid. And these jumps are so wide that... yeah, better just go for it. If you stop to think about that, the little enemy in the lava pit will most likely hit you. So it's best to just go for it. And here you can't damage boost on these enemies to go past these pillars faster, because that would end the run. So you just need to be patient. A lot about placing yourself in this. A lot of different things you can do differently. Everyone plays this game in a different way, so... This took me a while though to understand how to beat this dragon without getting hit. So this is probably the only way I know how. Just have to get into the same corner the dragon comes from. Otherwise, I'm not sure if you can even dodge it then. If you don't do this. really a convoluted pattern that you just have to know. Once you've got this down though, not too bad. Just have to carefully select your shots. Really easy to miss, as you might imagine. There we go. The rest, again, it's all about reacting to these little assholes. I like how you have to watch the top as well, as to not get hit by the flames. It's really a two-way section there. And like I said, on the pit sections, on a run like this, ooh, just ham on it, just go for it. So you stop and think, the little fellas just clip your feet and you're done. Even though the jumps look scary, just go for it. And there we go. As you can see, if you just run, you have a lot better chance of dodging those. Magma Man himself, I have an easy rule for. When he bends his knees, you go under him. Except on the first one here. But now, look at his knees. When he bends them, you go. Really easy. Requires a couple of practice runs, I'm sure. But you have a lot of time to go under him. It doesn't look like a lot, but you do have a lot of time. That's a fast kill. Lovely. Splash Wilma stage. My personal gripe with it is that it's boring. But it's interesting because you don't have to fire a single shot in the level. One of the only ones where that's possible. So not a single shot has to be done. I'm pretty sure I showcased that in this run. So what comes to no miss, well, that makes it a lot easier. You don't have to worry about that. Strange screen scroll here. Design wise. So, as you might imagine, in a level that requires no shooting, placing yourself is much more... placing yourself is then much more important. Knowing where to stand. Yeah, well, that's great. I probably wanted the energy. Let's just say that. Doing a little a mini skip there, which I didn't really win any time on. Useless show off. Triggered the fish out, so you can move freely on this screen. Seems like a good idea. One more here. And here's where placing yourself becomes really important. And there we go. Just have to look at the screens like that a few times to know where to stand. That's really the magic trick to it. Let's see then. Nothing of note here. Just learn the patterns. It's a long stage for what it is. But we are at the end. Just keep running here, hug the right side. And you'll do that every time. Cycle through the achievements apparently. Splash Woman herself can be a bit of trouble. Especially when it's a no miss, we have to kill her slowly. Or slower than usual. Can mess with your brain. So moving back and forth, kiting her shots, is the most important part here. And I could take shots when she's going up, but again, risk versus reward. Probably not sane to do those shots in the air. Looks like it could be easy to do, But once you've ingrained something into your mind and you alter it in the middle of the fight, that can surprisingly mess you up. So there's no real reason to alter your strategy in the middle. Especially if you've done the stage no miss. Tornado Man stage. As seen in the trailer of Mega Man 9. Or at least the music was from this stage. I'm sure they had some footage of this level as well. So this level, a lot about picking your fights. Did I just really miss that? Well, let's go back up. Nothing of value was lost, except my dignity. Okay, that's really interesting. I would probably kill those Mets if I did this challenge today, but a show-off is a show-off, I guess. If you can tippy-toe around those, well, why not? And I like to keep jumping on these platforms, because if you don't, you start rolling around. And it's much more difficult to adjust when you are gonna get off of the lift like that. So if you just keep jumping, it's much easier to predict the outcome. And you can alter the cycle. Well, not a lot of enemies require killing in this stage. But you can kill them if you want. I would probably kill the shield attacker here at the bottom. And I did. There's a chow coming up, which you can jump over. There you go. That's also a little bit more difficult than it looks like. I've gotten clipped by that chow a lot of times. So even though something might look easy in this challenge, it's not always that easy. It just looks easy once it's done. Didn't trust my shots there apparently. Good that you can shoot through the shield. Makes that a lot easier. Then we are reminded of Toadman stage here. And people thought the Toadman stage was difficult. Oh, look at this. The umbrellas go behind the clouds and then hit you. Same here. I try jumping a lot to adjust myself. You do what you are comfortable with, I'd say. If you don't like jumping there, don't. And here's one of the problem areas coming up. One umbrella can be behind this cloud up here. So be careful about that. Once that's done, you are pretty much guaranteed to go through the rest. Tornado Man himself isn't too much of a pain, but it's again one of those things that you probably wouldn't think to do, which is go close to him. Point blank range works the best. It's always something that people are really careful about. Why would you go close to your enemy? But in some cases it works better. Holy hell. Partial luck, but also knowing how to move. Really, the tornado patterns can be problematic. It's like a better airman fight. Really fun. I like this. Reaction based. Plug Man. Plug Man stage is the better Heatman stage, I would say. Has a lot of tellies. Copy Mega Man. Stuff like that. Spikes. Little spark plugs. That's a shot that's really important to take. So shoot the telly before you come to that section, otherwise you have to stand there and wait for everything to come at you and then you kill them. But if you shoot before the telly even has a chance to appear, well, you kill it and it doesn't come back. So that allows you to run through the entire first section without any problems. So one of the most important shots to take in any stage so far. in any of these games. And a faster way to deal with that is go to the route above. The first one. These you can outrun, not a problem. This level goes black, which doesn't really change anything. All of the elements you have to see are still there. Really, it's just for flair that the stage goes black. Doesn't really alter anything. So this stage, most of it is learning the Yoku blocks. Learning the beginning with the tellies and how to do that. And yeah, I would recommend luring these copy Mega Men out to the left and killing them so they don't chase you through this section, because you'll get hit down here. Because you really have to lure these out so you can make that. Well, you don't have to, you can just kill them, but they will come back every time, so that's just an easier way to deal with that. A little bit of enemy buffering going on here so we can get through that section safely. We kill them enough times to go through that. One last obstacle, the big eye. Probably gonna go under it. And as you can see, even if it does a low jump, you can still go out under him. So I guess that's no problem. Magma Man, you can actually get into a pattern. So he can get stuck in the middle, jumping left and right, left and right. Felon was able to do it. I'm not able to do it because I tried it many times. I just can't get him into a loop. It's so precise. So I have far better luck just reacting to him rather than locking him in a pattern. I got him into a pattern a few times, but I just can't keep him in it. So it's so precise. So I'll just do him normally. Like, it's not too difficult. It's really reaction based. It really depends on where you position yourself. It's a fun fight, one of my favorites as well. Really fun. There we go. Jewel Man. Last one for now. The stage has a lot of small enemies, which is a problem for a no-miss run. Like a lot of small, floating, annoying little fucks that you have to deal with, like that. So again, pick your shots, pick your fights, don't kill absolutely everything unless you have to. That's probably the best advice here. And if you can scroll things off screen, do that. It's just a lot of small annoyances, even though I do have to say that this was one of my favorite stages to do no miss. Because it's so skill based, there's not much luck involved. The only luck based section I would say is probably the mini boss. He can give you such of a bad pattern that you really can't avoid getting hit. So that's probably the worst part of the stage. Once you've done the mini boss, you should be clear. If you have that mechanical skill, this stage really shouldn't be that much of a problem. But Rockhead, first time doesn't give you the telegraph where he's gonna come out from, but then he does. There's little crumbles of stone at the top showing you where he's gonna drop down. Look at this. Doom, dip, 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 dip. Now he's on the second track. So because you don't have a slide, this can sometimes mess you up. That's a really good pattern right there, and a really good job on that run. I'm gonna be careful about these. Don't shoot at them when they are shielded. That'll ding your shot. Again, keep your distance. Make it a bit easier. Also have to worry about up and downs on the pit. So lure those out. Could also lure them out and jump. Don't have to kill them, but whatever is easier for you. This is the trickiest section after the mini boss. That has been taken care of. Doesn't look too bad when it's done like this. But trust me, it is bad. You can actually kill that spider from the left side as you're dropping down, but in a no miss I wouldn't try that. it's easier to miss 2 shots in the air than 1. Yeah, this is a lot about placement as well. This section here. Much harder than it looks, but don't let it fool you, it's still quite difficult. But once you have that mechanical skill, you're good. Things to note on this fight is that Wilma Man will jump when you jump. So that's how you can manipulate him. And I would not shoot him when he's shielded. It's a high chance of dinging your shot, because each gem will be a miss. So wait for him to cycle this pattern, get to the other side, dodge his patterns, then start shooting him. When he gets close to you, you do a mini jump and he will jump over you. If you told me that, hey, I made a robot master that jumps when you jump, I would have told you, that's a horrible idea. But hey, it worked out. I mean, this works out, it's fine, it's done well. So even if a robot master reacts to your button press, I would say that if it's done well, it's just good. I like Wilma Man as a boss. So even something rudimentary like this can be really impressive if done right. That is probably the hardest pattern he can do. There's a few different patterns he does when he shoots these out. The one with that tight jumping has to be the most difficult one. Just pay attention to how they come out. There we go. And that is Mega Man 9 done. We will be moving to Mega Man 10 next. I'll get you 10.